Hey guys, what is happening? So I just wanted to take you to one of my favorite places. I don't know if you can see this right here. This is where I'm at right now. It's a perfect 70 something degrees. And I wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite things. Now, I don't know if you know this about me, but I am a big nerd. I love to learn things, and I hate to use the word nerd because I think it's just, I'm curious. I always like to research. I always like to have a good understanding of what it is I'm learning, and so much so that before I went to graduate school, I read as much as I could about the laws of physics and science and scientific discoveries and everything else like that. So much so that when it came to graduate school and I was talking to my new professors about what I wanted to write about in my thesis, I thought I wanted to write about the intersections of science and art. And the thing is that as much as we've separated science from art, science and art are intersected. They meet at so many different junctures in terms of, forming the paint that you use, stretching the canvas, or even building buildings, or even in science, knowing when to explore different things. And so the reason that I'm talking about this today is that recently on social media, people offer a blanket statement as in science, as if that is the be all end all. And it's disappointing because it kind of strips away everything that science has worked towards for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Science is not just this concrete belief. It's not just this thing like, well, science. Because science is about discovery. It's about pulling everything apart, putting it back together and figuring out how it works. Take what you're hearing right now. You're hearing the water come in and out. How does that work? Someone figured that out. Someone really thought about it. And by sitting there and just chalking up everything to science takes away from all of the thoughts and all of the hard work that people have worked towards in their entire life, and not just this life, but other lifetimes, other scientists, other people that were curious about the world. And when you put science in a box like that, when you put it into a definitive concrete box, you forget all the options available for science. Science is about questioning, it's about wondering, it's about that curiosity. The minute you stop questioning science is the minute that it stops being science. And that's something that I think that we're seeing, is that we still don't know everything. We still have certain beliefs that are not exactly proven or are questioned and everything else like that. And I think that's where we need to be in society, is that we don't question everything enough. We don't question, we don't look up enough at the sky and be like, man, why is that blue again? Why did the clouds, why do they disperse? Why do they open up and everything else like that? And that lack of curiosity is getting us into trouble, because the more that we don't ask questions, the more that we just take everything for face value is when we disempower ourselves and we give someone else power. And when it comes to science, all of those things are meant to give us a greater understanding, not only of the world in which we live, but who we are, not only as humans and our thoughts and everything else like that, but who we are in our own bodies. When we chalk everything up to science, we forget that we are survivors. We are a tough lot. We are fighters. We are so many things. And among those things, I think that the one thing that we must be the most is curious. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when you hear someone just exclaim silence and have that be the end of a conversation. Because when someone says science, everyone's eyes should light up and just be like, okay, what are we gonna learn? What are we gonna be curious about? What questions are we gonna ask? Because the minute we shut the door on science is the minute we shut the door on ourselves. And the world is less fun when we're not curious. So keep asking questions, keep being curious, keep wondering why things are the way they are, and then ask yourself one other question. Do they have to continue to be that way? Stay curious and get outside.